Maxfind is a company that has unconventional thinking when it comes to electric skateboards. And today we're going to review one of their newer boards. It's called the Maxfind FF Belt. So let's get into it.
猫スケートからお届けします。
So the first thing you're going to notice about the Maxfind FF Belt, it is going to be its deck. Its deck has a very rectangular design, and it is also made out of plastic. Actually, Maxfind calls it X composite and glass fiber. Some of you might be asking, Alex, is plastic really a good material to make the boards out of? Well, maybe Maxfind's plastic isn't any old type of plastic, because this plastic actually holds up really well. Albeit it is a pretty soft ride, but it still holds up very well. This deck has a variety of features that we're gonna get into. So the first part is that it has a carrying handle in the front. It is built into the deck and it is quite convenient. No longer do you need to grab those dirty trucks, now you can just grab onto the deck and pull it like a man. And the shape of the deck is not symmetrical in the front and the back. So in the front there's a wider foot area, and in the back it is just straight. Some of you might be asking, Alex, but why do they make it thicker in the front but not in the back? In the front, that is where the battery sits, and this board has a very good feature that I actually really like. And we'll get into that a little bit later, but let's focus on the deck. So this deck is completely black. There's some logos on top of the deck where the grip tape is. And on the bottom side, you're going to see the contours for the battery and also the ESC. Because it very clearly shows you where the battery is and where the ESC is. I think it's a very interesting design choice that they made here. The deck has slight concaves on the side, and that is going to help you while turning and also keep your foot more comfortable. The grip tape that they're using is a special type of grip tape. Tom said it doesn't feel like a regular grip tape that you find on any skateboard. It is not the coarse grip tape, but it is still able to lock your feet in relatively well. Because we received this board while I was still in the US, Tom was the one that tested it, and he said that the deck is actually really soft. But it is not bouncy, it's just soft. Tom and I right now probably weigh around the same. We should be around somewhere of 160 to 170 pounds. So keep this in mind if you have a heavier weight. On this board, it is going to feel pretty soft and not as bouncy as some of the bamboo decks or some of the other wooden decks. But because the deck is very soft, it also filters out vibrations really well. Which means if you have small debris on the road or like cracks on the road, you're not going to feel them as much as compared to like a carbon fiber deck or a hard maple deck or any of the sort. And Maxfind has also put their tiny FF logos on where the trucks are, and I think that's a nice touch because otherwise the board will be looking a little bit too bland, but they put the little red emblems on them, and I think that's a very nice touch on there. And since we're already on the deck, we might as well talk about the swappable battery. This is one of the biggest features about this board, and the swappable battery is something that I actually really like. So the Maxfind FF is using a 12S3P Samsung battery pack. You can swap it out pretty easily. So you just twist the lock on top of the deck and then you pull the cover off, and then you can take out the old battery and plug in a new battery. So theoretically, it has unlimited range, just like some other board that you're able to change the battery. So if you're just going to commute for a short distance, you can just use one battery. If you're gonna go somewhere longer, let's say on a group ride or anything like that, you could bring like one extra battery or even two with you. And so because swapping it out is very convenient, that's the option I would go for rather than having an auxiliary battery pack that's always on your board. Onto the trucks. So the Maxfind FF belt is using double kingpin trucks, and the bushings that they're using are pretty soft according to Tom, so it is very easy to carve on this board. And I would think so because it has a very flexible deck. Carving on it is going to feel really good, but straight line speed is probably not this board's strong suit because of its double kingpin trucks and also the flexible deck. If you're the type of person that really likes like slow speed, just like carving your entire way, then the FF belt might be a good consideration. And Tom has also noted that the material of the trucks feels very interesting. It's something new. Yeah, he just says it feels special. So I'm assuming these are forged aluminum trucks. Oh, and I just saw on Maxfind's website it says European Standard AISIM G5 special material for high-speed rail. Okay, for high-speed rail? Well, you got that on your truck. You got a part of high-speed rail on your truck. So the wheels that they're using is 105mm polyurethane wheels. They kind of look like clout wheels, but they're not. They're kind of like knockoff clout wheels, but they do help absorbing some shock. In general, this board is just going to be very smooth ride because the wheels are shock absorbing. It's using double cam trucks, which have some sort of shock absorbing, maybe not really, like very slight amount that you can probably not even tell. And the deck is very soft, so if you have debris on the ground, you're probably not going to feel them. Now onto the motors. Maxfind FF belt is set to use 2 of their 1500 watt motors, and that's in combination 3000 watts, so that is relatively powerful. And on this type of board I wouldn't want anything more powerful because it has a flexi deck and also double kingpin trucks, so I wouldn't really feel comfortable going faster using more powerful motors. So I think having a smoother ride is this board's like destiny. It's like what it should be doing. And it is using the Hobbywing 3.0 ESCs, which means it's the Hobbywing's newest ESCs. Smooth acceleration, smooth braking, everything that we come to know with from Hobbywing. So this board has all of that. Let's come back to the battery. So the battery is 12S3P Samsung pack. It has a total of 376 watt hours. So that's not that high, but keep in mind this board can switch out the battery as you like. So it shouldn't be that much of a concern. You could just buy a new battery to put it in. Like you have 2 batteries that you swap out. And each of the batteries is gonna take around 3 hours to charge from flat to full. So that's not that long either. The charge time is relatively low. And one of the things that I really gotta tell you about is that these motor guards, they might be the coolest motor guards I've seen so far on electric skateboards. Like usually we just have like flat plates or just some curved pieces of metal, or sometimes even just like bars. But this one actually flows with the back of the board. Like I like it. It looks really good. So the quoted range on this board is 40 kilometers. When Tom tested it, he got the max range of about 37 kilometers. So the range on this is actually pretty good, and you can always just get more batteries. Okay, let's see the pricing of the FF belt. So for the standard model, which is the 25 mile or 40 kilometer range, it is $899. And for double the range, okay, for double the range, it is $1,199, which means the battery pack is going to run you for $300. Or you can get the super range, which is triple the range, because you get 3 batteries. It is $1499. So the only difference is really just the batteries, and each of them is going to cost you $300. So depending on how many batteries you want, I would probably recommend like at least 2. So you can swap them out if you want to, or if you need to. It's just a better option to have options. Who do I think this board is for? This board is for people that like slow speed cruises, or just really likes carving, that kind of like casual riding. Because on this board, I don't think many people will feel comfortable going really high speeds. That's just my opinion for like flexible deck boards with double kingpin trucks, because I've tried quite a few of them. That's just the general consensus for me. But I also really enjoy these like slow speed cruises, like way more chill ride. That's what I've been doing recently, a little bit more, because you just have more time looking at your surroundings and just like taking it in good nature, you know, just enjoying your time. Because if you're going very fast, you gotta like keep your full attention on the road and you just miss everything around you. And sometimes when you're riding around, you might be losing count of how many miles you have ridden. And maybe you might get stranded because you ran out of battery power. And that's when the second battery comes in. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? This is where the second battery comes in. So you can swap it in and go home without having to call an Uber. Because in this economy, Right, thank you for watching our video on the Maxfind FF belt. If you'd like to get one, I'll leave the link in the description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Stay safe out there. So I have a little story to tell you guys. I got charged $150 to go from Davenport, Florida to Orlando International Airport, which is like a 40-minute drive. $150. That's insane. Alright, see you next time.